Welcome to another episode of The Doctor and the Chef. Chef, how are you?
Pretty well. It's a little bit dark and dreary outside, so these lovely Tokayas, which we're about to try.
You've got it wrong.
Okay, sorry.
So, Tokaji, or Tokay.
Or Tokay.
So,
very good for cold weather. Warmers. We're going to call them winter warmers.
So I've been to, I've travelled many years ago, a number of years ago, to the Tokaji region of Hungary.
Wow.
Tokay is also in Slovakia. It's in that area near the Slovakian border.
So is this going to be like grappa?
No. So
nothing like grappa.
So Tokaji, Tokaji, Tokay, they're all the same wines.
Okay, great. Well, let's give it a go. I've got
let's start again. So we'll explain a little bit first before you head off, because there's a little bit of rules about
this.
Keep
drinking.
So to start with, the issue that we have to do with the Tokay, is it a sweet white wine? It is a sweet white wine. Now, when you go to the region,
it's very sweet.
They have around 8 wines. They have 2 types of savoury wines and 6 different types of sweet wines. I know that because having travelled there, I've done the tastings and they label them out all in glasses like this. And when I did them before, they fill them all the way to the top. And by the end of the tasting, when I drank all of the liquid in them, I was completely
Okay, so they also have a fantastically strange way of measuring the sweetness, I believe, per bottle.
They do indeed. So what they do is that they hold over some of the grapes that have got mould on them, really. Mm-hmm. So they're botrytis,
yes.
So essentially they're
botryticized.
Botryticized?
Yes. The botrytis is the actual, I believe, is the bug that makes it go mouldy.
So pretty much they're sultanas.
Yeah. No, because they've turned. Yes. They're sultanas that have turned.
Yes, and they're very, very, very sweet, and they're sultanarized.
So in Australia we call that botrytis. You might have seen botrytis Riesling. That's right. Very popular.
So what they do here is that they have 6 different types of sweet wines that they use in Tokaji. They use the one Puttonyas. What did you say it was called?
No, it's a measure of Beaumay. So in Australia, we measure sweetness through a scale of Beaumay, like 1 to 15 or something.
Oh, whatever.
And they seem to use
Puttonyas. And if you look at the bottle, you can see there that it says
1 Puttonyas, 2 Puttonyas, 3
Puttonyas. Anyway, so I'm not going to try to go into how you spell it, but this is something you can do. Now, the first wine, this wine,
yes, over
Chef,
this side.
So this one here is 3 Puttonyas, which is a lower level of sweetness.
Oh, it's actually it's not actually that sweet.
So it's quite pleasant, isn't it?
Quite pleasant. A little bit sherry-like.
It is
quite sherry-like,
but not too. It's not
as dry as sherry. Dry sherry, has that
medium
really
sherry. It's a medium sherry flavour.
It is a medium sherry, but with some sweetness to cover up that heavy sherry.
But it just cuts through, doesn't it? So that flavour profile is quite a cut-through flavour.
Yeah,
it's quite nice.
Very sherry-like, though. I'm really interested in that. Okay,
that's
because
really
must say I became accustomed to sherry drinking when one of my friends used to force it down our throats at his restaurant. He went through a phase, and it was delicious. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
I'll tell you a story quickly. Is that I went there many years ago, and I was at the train station in Budapest.
Oh, Budapest.
And I was going to get a train out to Tokaji, and I went out to the train station and said I would like to get a...
We've all done this, Doc.
Didn't want to go to the English language one because the line was so long. So I went to the Hungarian version. I said, I'd like to have a ticket to... I didn't say that at all. I just went up and said, Tokaji.
Because that's all he had.
And the woman on the other side looked at me and went, eh?
Eh?
And I said, no, Tokaji. I want to go to Tokaji. Tokaji. Tokay?
Oh, God.
Tokay.
Okay, this is excruciating.
Tokaji.
It's excruciating for me, Doc, so let's get it.
She said, can you write it down? So I wrote it down on a piece of paper. She looked at it and went, Tokaji!
Yeah, because it was so different. Yeah.
That's the place I want to go to. Anyway,
so we went there. Let's have a try to see how this one goes.
So this is the 5 Puttonyas?
5 Puttonyas. So we've had a 3 Puttonya and we're on a 5 Puttonya. Well, that is much closer
That
to
is a
our...
much sweeter wine.
But much closer to our Botrytis Riesling.
Yeah, that
Our
is.
Australian Botrytis Riesling. That is...
But it's very smooth. So
and also quite light.
yeah, very much.
I'm
so.
getting Bickford's Lime Cordial out of this, my man. Bickford's Lime Cordial.
So these two wines are from Hungary. You can buy them from Dan Murphy's. They hold these. This particular one, this particular variety we've got is St Stephens Crown. I quite like it. To be honest.
I like that better than that. This is much more sherry-like, with a hint of sweetness.
I like a good
whereas
sherry.
this is a very, very sweet wine.
But it's not. There's still one
Closer to
level higher.
Botrytis Riesling, but I still
There's
go
still
for
a high.
Botrytis.
There's a level above. They go to 6.
I probably wouldn't go to number 6.
Your 6 is a bit
myself.
bit high on. So
all right, well, lovely. A little bit watery though, perhaps. Doesn't have have the thickness of a Botrytis Riesling.
So if we look at it,
I am obsessed.
Again,
it sounds like I'm obsessed with Botrytis Riesling, but if we are comparing the two together,
so let's have a
I
look.
would go for
Look at
a
these
noble
two
one.
wines.
I'd go for a noble one before I'd go for either of these.
Now the other thing to say about these wines is that these wines, the Tokaji from Hungary, this was one of the premier wine regions in the world.
Yes.
In the 19th century.
Oh, really?
And it was regarded as being the place to be. It was up there with Champagne,
probably Lebanon.
Burgundy.
Lebanon.
No, not Lebanon.
Or Beirut, I mean.
No, none of that. Beirut, none of
They
those.
were highly sought after places to go.
Yes, but not this. No, for the wine.
Oh, for the wine.
For the
Sorry,
wine.
sorry,
So it was very, very sought after wine. It was a top region. And after World War One, when there was changing of borders, the Austro-Hungarian
Wasn't there
Empire, all that sort of stuff, it really
few problems after
market.
the war.
And the Russians then took it over, and they really liked. They've always been big fans of this, but they decided to do concrete wine barrels to be able to make the stuff. Can
I also say it's an appellation control? So this is an interesting point because of the European or the French appellation controls. This is an appellation.
It is.
It's Hungarian appellation naturally. But interestingly,
part of the EU though.
Part of the EU. So we are going to compare these in another episode to the Australian version. There are Australian grapes grown in the same style, made in the same style, and it'll be very interesting to see how they turn out. Anyway, we better move on.
So just taste one more time. So the 3 and the 5. 3. What do you think?
I still think the 3 is a sherry, a sweet sherry.
It's certainly not a savoury wine. It would be really nice to start as a starter before a dinner.
Yes, and I still have no problem with it as an end.
Yeah.
With a bitter chocolate type dessert, something that really needed some sweetness added to it.
And the last one, the 5.
I'm pretty keen on this one. Yeah, I think it's softer, but I still love it.
Do you know what that would be?
That
would be great poaching pears in.
Absolutely.
If you had some poached pears in this
very
particular
expensive
wine,
poached pears.
When you poach the pears in it, then pour it out,
Pour it back out
into the glass. Wait for it to cool down, then drink
I've
it.
been drinking it, and
Anyway.
I'm hoping that not too much alcohol has been cooked out.
Chef,
All right.
thank you very much.
Good on you, Doc.
Another episode of the Doctor and the Chef. Keep an eye out and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Good evening. Yeah, it's good gear.
That's really good stuff. That's really good. That's damn good.